Starting today, San Diego police will start enforcing the city's unsafe camp ordinance. Thanks for joining us at 6 a.m. I'm Carrie Lane in for Eric Connor.
And I'm Dana Marie McNichol filling in for Netta Arampur. Now, this ordinance officially went into effect yesterday. The city is now encouraging unsheltered people to move to safe sleeping sites.
CBS 8's Chris Groh, he's live at Harbor Island Park to explain how this is all going to work. Chris, break it down for us.
Yeah, good morning, guys. And this is going to be enforcement starting today, right? This is going to be a 3-strike policy here. The first time is a warning. The second time it is a misdemeanor citation. And the third time could potentially be arrest. Of course, this is all whether or not these individuals will be complying with police orders here when they are encountered. Now, as for this unsafe, the unsafe camping ordinance or the encampment ban, however it is that you refer to this, this is, of course, banning encampments in all public spaces if there is shelter availability. However, that shelter availability provision actually goes away in certain areas like parks, canyons, schools, transit stations, and homeless shelters. Now, enforcement is going to start focusing on parks and schools today. Now, as for the argument about shelter availability, there are a number of safe sleeping sites, beds that are available. In fact, after that reopened there earlier in this year, we are seeing that there are only about 28 people staying there in 21 tents when it has room for about 136 tents. Something else that CBS 8 has looked into is whether or not some of the amenities, the basic amenities that were promised, are actually being used. That's something that we're checking back in on today, things like showers and so forth. Something else, lastly, that this CBS 8 has uncovered here is that according to city permits, the site must close by December 28th. Now, a spokesperson for the mayor told us that it was always meant to be a short-term solution. However, some critics have pointed out that this is reducing the amount of shelter beds available within the city. Now, there is a site that will be reopening, or I should say opening, in Balboa Park that'll offer space for about 400 tents, but as we move forward here with enforcement of the unsafe camping ordinance, a lot of people will be focusing on the shelter bed availability because those two things do go hand in hand. Now, we have reached out to the city about that safe sleeping site. We are waiting to hear back. It was very early in the morning when we contacted them to get an updated count on how many people are utilizing that site. But for now, we're going to send things back to you in studio.
Chris Groh, thank you. This morning, police are looking for the person who shot and killed a man in City Heights. It happened just before 7:30 last night near Altadena Avenue and Reitman Street. Officers say the man was shot in the back and later died in the hospital. Police don't have a suspect description. All we know is a dark-colored vehicle was seen driving away from the scene. Call police if you have any information.
A mother whose 2 children were hit and killed on a Vista highway on Father's Day is back in jail this morning. Here's the moment she was taken into custody again.
And so I am going to have her remanded into custody.
No, please.
There are some details that are going to go along with that. One is,
Please.
I'm going to set it at $100,000.
So that happened on Friday. Sandra Ortiz was awaiting trial on several charges, including child endangerment, for the deaths of her 16-year-old daughter and 10-year-old son. The kids ran onto State Route 78 after luggage fell off their SUV. Ortiz was out on bail after pleading not guilty to child endangerment and DUI charges. She was even allowed to attend the kids' funerals, but she violated court orders 3 times, one of those incidents involving alcohol.
We were alerted that her bracelet tested positive for alcohol. It was a .43 at approximately 2:43 in the morning on July 16th. And so we were here today. I had asked the court to remand her into custody since this was the 3rd SOR violation in the last three weeks.
Ortiz will be back in court tomorrow, and we will obviously continue to follow this case.
Today, San Diego City Council discussing its contracts with ambulance providers. Now, if approved, American Medical Response will become the 2nd provider for ambulances in the city. Falk would still remain as the city's primary ambulance provider. Falk has struggled to meet response time goals since taking over the contract from American Medical Response in 2021. And today, San Diego Mayor Todd Gloria and Police Chief David Nisleit, they're urging the City Council to approve smart streetlights. The proposal would allow police to install 500 streetlight cameras and automated license plate readers. The police department would then use cameras to investigate and solve those crimes. People against smart streetlights can call it an invasion of privacy, while supporters say it is a matter of safety. City Council will vote tomorrow. Today is the last day to register for the Supervisor District 4 special election. You must register to receive a ballot in the mail. Register online at sdvote.com by midnight, or print, sign, and return a registration form for the registrar's office by 5 p.m. today. Early voting is already underway. In-person voting starts Saturday, August 5th. You can conditionally register at any voting center through August 15th. District 4 spans from Claremont and Kearney Mesa all the way to Rancho San Diego. Right now, 4 people are campaigning to fill the seat: Janessa Goldbeck, Paul McHugh, Monica Montgomery Stepp, and Amy Reichert.
This morning, the county is getting ready to close more parks due to high temperatures. 2 parks have already been shut down, and starting tomorrow, 3 more will be added to that list. They'll be closed for the month of August. This includes El Capitan Preserve in Lakeside, Hellhole Canyon Preserve in Valley Center, and Mount Gower County Preserve in Ramona. Also, Agua Caliente and Vallecito County Parks near Anza Borrego are also going to be closed this summer.
We really encourage people, if they have to get outside and do things, do it early. Do it early when the temperatures are a lot lower than they are going to be in the middle of the day.
As for the 5 park closures, the county plans to reopen them Labor Day weekend. And seniors, especially those with illness like Alzheimer's and dementia, are very vulnerable in this hot weather. Experts say because of the way heat impacts the brain, people living with those conditions are more susceptible to heat stroke and dehydration. They say caregivers should make sure seniors are hydrated. Also watch out for wandering and make sure to keep a recent photo and medical information on hand. And it is also important to keep an eye on children. Experts say that young children, especially those under 6 months, are at a greater risk for heat exhaustion and heat stroke. Here are some tips to keep in mind. Do not drape a thick blanket over your stroller. That blanket is actually going to trap heat inside. Instead, use an umbrella to allow for more ventilation. Also, avoid giving your baby or toddler a cold water bath. Instead, use lukewarm water in a sponge or spray them with mist to cool them down. You got to have kids hydrated. I know that can be tough sometimes. Not just water, though. You can also give them some fruits and salads. Those will help as well. And ensure they are taking frequent breaks. They have time to come in, maybe have them play in the shade or indoors between 10 and 4 p.m. when the heat is usually at its worst, and include frequent water breaks for them.
You almost have to treat it like it's winter, where it's too cold and too frigid. The extremes are inside. You hang out, maybe go laser tag, do an escape room, something like that, where, even though it's sunny and, warm outside, it could be dangerous.
I say we go to an escape room with Evan Narani.
I'll go. I'm
do
on
it.
board. I've been going to the movie theater.
Wait, I went with my family. It's so hard.
I know. They're actually, all I think about when I leave an escape room is I think I'm a lot dumber than I thought.
I know. That's what I feel.
I usually rely on other people at those escape rooms to do
Otherwise,
the
you
heavy
would still
lifting.
be there.
I would. Otherwise, I'd be doing the forecast live from an escape room.
That could be
From the alien centers.
I've been going to the movie theater is always my place.
So
I love the
nice.
theater. Also because that AC, I love that frigid air. It feels
Well,
so
and
nice.
then, the Coke and the popcorn and the
Oh,
chocolate.
you could just leave me there all day.
Evan,
I
it's
love it.
$10 in Coronado to see a movie.
Well,
Isn't
let's
that a
go.
great price?
Sign me up.
Yeah,
I'll
the
be there. It's 6:09 right now. If you're outside, not only is the heat going to be something that you feel, but the humidity. East County thunderstorms taking place as we speak. We've got some PM thunderstorms in the forecast as well. So not only do we have those storms right now across our mountains and deserts, but also in the forecast for this afternoon, for late tonight into tomorrow, and then again tomorrow afternoon. Monday, Tuesday are the 2 days in the forecast that we're watching out for those storms in particular. A couple storms could push west of the mountains. Not a strong likelihood, but there is a chance of it. 76 along the coast this afternoon, AM clouds, PM sun. So some low clouds along the coast, some high clouds coming through thanks to those thunderstorms from the east. And then across your inland valleys, partly cloudy, upper 80s, little bit cooler than, say, what our afternoon highs looked like at times last week. But, pick your poison. We've got now storms that have popped up here. So Pine Valley is getting hit as we speak. Those showers are going to keep moving south. If you're passing through the 94 or the 8 in East County, you will likely see those showers. And in some cases, not just showers, but thunderstorms. That's the orange specks that you see popping up there on the screen. A little bit of a wider picture shows how those storms are decaying as we speak, but they will be back in the forecast again by the time we get to this afternoon. Take a look outside. 6:02 is that sunrise, or was that sunrise 8 minutes ago. Sunset's not coming until 7:48, and you see some of those mid and high clouds that we'll be working through. Not a perfectly clear day, but still a pretty sunny one close to the coast and inland, and still pretty hot out there, but you'll feel that humidity. 6:10, let's take a look at your border wait times and how the roads are looking out there. So right now, the San Ysidro Port of Entry wait time is at 170 minutes. It'll take you nearly 3 hours to get through that San Ysidro Port of Entry. Otay Mesa Port of Entry, nearly 2 hours is what we're looking at right now. You can head to cbsa.com/traffic. It's got the latest on what our highway conditions look like once you get into San Diego County.